Alrighty. Got a nice echo in my ear there. Sorry, guys. So, welcome. World's first Pro Series indoor electric kart race. Oh, what fun. So my stream deck went down, otherwise I'd say hi to you guys. This is Jason, live from K1 Speed Canton. And I believe we're up and running. At least it says on air, so I'm okay with that. What you just missed was a little bit of qualifying. So we got James down there, track guys down there. Huge thank you to them for making this all possible. We're live right now on Alex's camera. Big thank you to Alex and Andy for coming in, helping out with the series. I believe right now we're in between qualifying and their hour and 15-minute finals. So, yes, Lisa Miller, we are live. Thank you. It took me a second. We ran out of cash. I don't have James up here. He's down there. And I'm at the helm of it. So you guys are at the mercy of my video switching abilities tonight. The good news is we've got GoPros on karts. So I think we've got 4 GoPros as everybody gets everything pushed around and kind of fired up. We've also got our outdoor cam set up too, so we get to see all the action as the sun sets on a beautiful 80-degree day here in Canton, Ohio. Thank you for hanging out and waiting for us to figure out the technical difficulties. I really appreciate that. This is the first of its kind that I know of, and please correct me if I'm wrong. Do a little digging on Google because I haven't. We are doing a professional-oriented hour and 30 minutes worth of racing here. We just completed our 10-minute qualifier, so formula style, I suppose. We give every team 10 minutes, and they go out. They can run multiple drivers, multiple karts. You know, obviously you have to run a couple laps, come back in, but if you want a different kart to take out, that's fine. You run your laps, each team gets 10 minutes, and there's single drivers and there's teams, which has made the pits, as we walk along with Andy here in his GoPro, but it made the pits a little bit different, because I know in the 12 hours, if you guys have seen that, we had a stop box in the back there, and we, teams would wait basically where you see the track worker there and the TV off to your left-hand side. They would select, or they would wait there for a stop box signal from a track worker, and then the team would get in the kart, rotate out. That's all well and fine with teams. With single drivers that we have tonight, it is a lot more difficult to pull something like that off, so we've had to modify the pits a little bit for how they are going to be pitting tonight. And I can't wait to show you guys, because it'll be lots of fun. Basically the best we could get it. Every team, and I'll refer to single drivers and teams as teams tonight because it's just easier. Yes, I will absolutely get you qualifying status. As soon as I have it in my hands, I will give it to you guys. But yeah, so single drivers and teams I'll just refer to as teams because they have chosen team names, whether they are single drivers or teams. And they get 1 pit stop. Hour and 15-minute race, 1 pit stop. Now, I know if you're from other facilities, doing the math really quick, that's a lot of racing. To even amp it up to the next level, to the pro status, as we call it, we've given each kart boosts, which accelerates the kart from already fast to faster. So I'm sure we're going to see some really crazy lap times. I know we've already beaten the track record in qualifying, which I will get to you as soon as I possibly can. But I'm expecting a really, really great race tonight. I believe everybody's going to start selecting their randomized karts for their start, or are we just lining them up? I don't remember, to be honest with you. But that is the rundown of tonight. So we are doing random karts. Cool. See Bubbles there. Bubbles popped in, been around multiple leagues, and decided tonight when he showed up, hey, I qualify to be a pro here. I want to run this Absolutely. There you go. Perfect timing. So it should be great. I really just want this league to grow into some of the fastest kart guys, girls we can find in and around the area to come once a month on Mondays to run this league with us. We invite you all because it is just going to be the most competitive, best endurance indoor electric karting you can find anywhere. And brought to you by Competition Karting, we are going to go live with it. So I'll be along for the ride. I'm going to try and pull some different drivers up here in between their stints once we figure it out. But this is the first time we're running it, so there's a few things we're just going to have to take care of, housekeeping notes and all that stuff we will work through, and you guys are along for the ride with us. It's going to be a really fun time. And if I was to guess, I would say the order that they're picking carts right now is the order that they qualified. So I will get you guys names as soon as I can, but I'm going to see if I can't get my ATEM to get going here. So give me half a second. I'll be right back with you guys as soon as I get my ATEM working. No, they just warm up their tires the first lap.
one formation lap to warm your tires up.
Alrighty. All right, so Stream Deck's giving me a couple few issues, but we're back at it. And we've got onboards here, and I can tell by the helmet already this is Marshall Miller. And I've got our qualifying order for anybody that was out there wondering. It was Armand Deligny in first, Nate Groh in second, Marshall Miller in third, Chris Kuhn in fourth, Dominic D'Angelo in fifth, Giovanni Blackberry in sixth, Corey Salerno in seventh, PJ Manny-Penny in eighth, Kyle Scheckler in ninth, and Trent Tioff rounding us off at 10. So, on board with Marshall right now as he winds his way back through the track. We see everybody getting stacked up in order. I appreciate you guys hanging out. All right, let's see what we got.
Thank you, buddy. It'll definitely change the car swaps, obviously. But yeah, no, it's all good.
All right. Yeah. PF Racing, yeah, Enduro Race, Glow Karting. Definitely have thought about it. And stay tuned because we are looking at a 6-hour race coming up this summer called the Twilight. And that is still in the works, late September, early August. I mean, early or late August, early September. It could be either or, but that's okay. So yeah, Twilight, we have opened up sponsorship opportunities, looking to grow that as best we can to support all of these awesome racers that come out, and this is a glimpse of them that you're going to get in the Pro League. And it should be lots of fun. So we are on board with Trent, Kart 25. We've got Marshall Miller in Kart 11.
Good, boys.
Chris Kuhn on board. Good to see Chris back here in Kart 13.
All right, go ahead, run them.
And Dominic D'Angelo, Kart 15. And let's watch them go live for the first ever pro endurance race here at K1 Speed Canton as they're off. Hour and 15-minute time clock starting now. All right, here we go. On board here. Let's see what Marshall's going to do heading outside as they round the carousel. Already a couple moves. Marshall diving the inside there as we jump back inside, coming through the garage doors. Armand in the lead, followed by Marshall. Already making moves from third. Ooh, outside, left it wide open. Surprised that door didn't close on him. Chris Kuhn right on his bumper, pushes Marshall out of the way a little bit. They are all out for that second position as Armand Deligny runs away with it. Nice little pile up there in turn 2. Here's a great onboard of it. Boy, they are just trying to figure out what position they want to be in as they come out the back door. Rounding into that carousel, you see Armand there. He's got a pretty good lead. Marshall working his way through, see if he can't dive anything to the inside. Let's jump back inside. There's Armand, and here is the rest of the pack. Nate Groh in second, Marshall Miller in third, Dominic D'Angelo just behind the group of them. And this is a long race. We've got an hour and 15 minutes. And kart camber, yeah, karts are running really good. Camber is really good. I was in a few of them today, and they feel very good. I'm sure we're going to see times dropping like crazy, so that'll be really, really, really good for everyone to watch. Track records be broken, and we're going to consider it part of the Pro Endurance Series to keep track of the fastest times that these drivers can get. Don't know what the award for that will be yet, but it'll be something, if not just a t-shirt and a trophy that says, I am the fastest person in the Pro League. Everybody looking nice and tidy. That's a nice overhead, broad view shot. I think the action's going to be probably, making a little move on Dominic there. Chris, let's see as they come outdoor here. Not too much movement. Jumping all the way through. Looks nice and tidy all the way through there. Let's jump back inside, see what we got. We've still got Armand. Marshall starting to put a couple kart lengths into him, but again, this is a long race. So I think if we follow that lead pack, we should be pretty good. Corey Salerno out there in the kart number 8. Now, Corey, hard-working guy, just had his 5th kid. Congratulations, Corey. Attaboy. Running in what looks like 5th place. So it's been a while since he's been out on the kart track. So we're going to see how Corey winds up out here today. Decided he's going to do it all by himself. But Marshall putting some kart lengths into our leader, Armand Deligny, as they enter back into the inside of the track. Marshall is going to be all over. This is the battle I'm going to watch as he looks to the inside of Armand. Armand lets it slide, but then immediately Marshall washes wide. Armand takes that position right back. I haven't seen a move Marshall made like that in a long time. He just slid right through turn 1. As they come outside, let's see if there's any moves to be made out here. Does not look like it. I can't really see in the carousel. There we go. They are bumper to bumper, and we'll catch them back inside as we'll jump on board here with Marshall just to see what he's looking like as soon as we get. Hey, our GoPros are looking pretty good, but I just jinxed it. Right on the bumper of Armand. Looks to the inside. Armand's probably going to let this slide, knowing Armand, it is a long race. As Marshall takes the inside, and looks like he's going to make it stick here. Yep. Marshall walking away with it a little bit. He is definitely one of those drivers you want to stay as close as you possibly can to him, because he will run away with that race if you don't put pressure on him. Already making a few kart lengths on. As we look back to the 4th, 5th position here. A little bit of movement right behind PJ there. Looking good. All right, so these are endurance races. These are really fun, lots of action in the beginning. Kind of dulls out in the middle a little bit, and then the end of it is a lot of fun. So again, with one kart swap that they are allowed tonight, it is going to be very strategic on how they are going to make their karts last this long. Looks like Dominic's got his hands full. I believe this is Chris Kuhn that we are on board with here. Yep, as everybody looking pretty tidy. Chris Kuhn, not much of a move to be made. That, let's see here, come back through the door. He's right on the bumper of Dominic there. Chris is one of those guys. He is a rough and tumble racer. He will look for a way through. If you give him an inch, he will take it. So if he's on your bumper, if it's for position, don't let him by. But otherwise, I would just jump right behind him. You have this track on Roblox, says BF Racing. Roblox. I would love to see that. Send me a picture of it. I would love to see that. All right, who do we got? We got Marshall entering through the doors. Armand Deligny in 2nd, followed by Nate Groh. And there is our only scoreboard of the night, because I don't have the overlay right now. So thank you very much to Alex for hitting that in the shot. I appreciate that. But as they're coming through here, everybody looking neat and tidy. Jump on with Dominic here. Yeah, Chris behind him for a little bit. Dominic, great driver. Good to see him getting involved in some of the Pro Series stuff. It is way more competitive and way more fun than your average kart league, and that is what we aim to do here at Competition Karting. You guys have seen a lot of our leagues, and this is the granddaddy of them all for endurance racing. Our endurance series runs every month as well. Third Sunday of every month, we run our endurance series here at K1 Speed Canton, and we have a rookie status too. So that would be awesome to see you guys at if you ever make it out here. One second here, everyone. We are just getting a few things situated up here. Got James, the hero, restarting my stream deck so I can give you guys the overlay so we can keep up on what's going on. Alrighty, big thanks to James jumping up here for 5 seconds. I grabbed him, and we've now got our scoreboard. So, little dirt from the track. I like that. Little rubber off track here. They are using quite a bit of energy on boost. And like I said, this is the first time we have done this, so it's going to be quite a good race. And I know that, yeah, Rachel, sorry about that. I had to restart the computer because the cache was full. So when I did that, the stream deck decided to just check out for the night. So can't blame it. And PF Racing, I think you can attach a picture in here or not. Or actually send it to 12hoursofcanton@gmail.com. The number 12hoursofcanton@gmail.com. If you do that, I'll try to grab that and share that because that would be awesome to see. So as we check back up in the race, we've got Marshall Miller's team. Actually, Marshall's running by himself. Armand Deligny, I know, is running as a team. It's Armand and Rachel. Nate is running by himself. Dominic is not running by himself. Chris Kuhn is running by himself. Corey Salerno by himself. PJ Manny-Penny, of course, is driving with the Bull. Scheckler, so we will see. Yeah, Wi-Fi's a little sketchy. I had that problem too. So, catching back up to everyone, that is where we stand with 1 hour and 3 minutes left in the race. So we've actually, James told me that a couple of the drivers were talking about not using boost, and I think that is a fantastic idea in an endurance race. We put it in there as we wanted, pro-level karts. Karts are faster, the whole nine, and everything like that, but we do have the best batteries you can buy for these karts. James helped redesign them. We've got competition-level batteries, and the boost uses a lot of juice, so it's probably a good thing that a lot of teams are not running a lot of boost, because we're going to see how these batteries pan out. Now, again, first time for everything, so there's always hiccups, and we do not have all of the telemetry for the batteries as of yet. Here's a good battle between Nate Groh and, what is that, Dominic D'Angelo. So it's a good idea not to use a whole lot of boost. It's there if you need it. It's there if you need to keep up or make a pass on someone, but it does swallow a lot of kart energy. So getting through the entire race with one kart swap is going to be the name of the game, and you want to drive conservatively, but you want to drive to win. So that is the question. How do the teams work versus singles? So the only difference is Marshall with a 38.067. That is a really, really fast lap. Teams versus single was just a driver option, as if you wanted to drive as a team. Again, it's pro endurance, aligned pretty well with another series or another event that we do called the 12 Hours of Canton. So we just wanted to make sure that if, it's more team oriented. The endurance series is a very single driver focused program. It's a really, really good race, but we wanted an option out there for teams as well, so teams can develop throughout the year and then come into the 12 hours raring and ready to go, as well as the 6 hours and all the other events that we do. That is a heck of a hit there from Dominic. He's on the outside of Nate Groh. Nate Groh takes that position back. Nate just cruising for the endurance as Dominic looks to the inside. Nate's going to let him go. That is a really good idea, because it is a long race. You got a lot of time to get that back. So coming up on 60 minutes to go here at the first running of the Pro Series for Endurance Karting at K1 Speed Canton, brought to you by Competition Karting and the 12 Hours of Canton. Again, team-oriented, because we want these guys and girls to be prepared for all of the big endurance races that we put on throughout the year. As we add more and more, we want them to be prepared. So having a team endurance makes a lot of sense, and if we can add a little fun to it with the boost button, makes the karts go a little bit faster. Teams get the very best we have to give here at K1 Speed Canton. Again, huge thanks to James Burley for letting us do this. We got to rent the track out and have a lot of fun with this series. So you guys are along for the ride as we start something brand new. And again, if you want to try to run the endurance, or you want to develop your endurance abilities in karting, driving, racing, anything, I highly recommend that you come out and try our endurance series that we do here at K1 Speed Canton every third Sunday of the month. Let's check back on board here with Chris Kuhn. He is riding right behind Dominic D'Angelo there in the kart 15. Ahead of that is Nate Groh. Nate made his way by again. So like I said, those guys are going to pace themselves a little bit. There's Corey Salerno. Little gap to Chris Kuhn, but nothing he can't handle. As they come back inside, we check on that gap here between Nate Groh and Dominic D'Angelo. Pretty good gap. Couple kart lengths. Nate must have used a couple boosts just to put a little gap between him and Dominic. Not a bad idea. Chris Kuhn's starting to creep up on him, though. That looks like pretty much overall, overhead of the track, we've got pretty good gaps between everybody. Looks like Marshall, though, just out of shot on the left going into turn one, is starting to catch up to PJ. I believe. So, yeah, that is PJ. So, PJ points him by. Long race. Marshall is going to now work his way through the back markers of the field. Plenty of space for him to go. And everything's about the same here at the front of the field. We've got a little battle going for third place here. So by the end of the race, these three are going to be neck and neck. But other than that, we've got Marshall making hay out here in the middle of no man's land, just passing karts as much as he can. Lisa Miller. So in 12 hours, they have teams watching, coaching, etc. Are the singles in this race at a level as disadvantaged as the teams aren't? They don't have a monitor to everything on their own. So yes and no. We have given a guarantee on the karts that they will last a certain number of laps. So everybody kind of figures out their pit strategy ahead of time, teams or otherwise. I know a couple of teams actually don't have on-track communication either. As we advance the technology of these karts, we would love to have telemetry on our new heads-up displays that we got. Huge thanks to James for just continually making investments in these karts to make them as competitive as we can. So there is not really a disadvantage because Marshall's going to go out there, feel his kart, and kind of know when he's going to pit, along with Corey and Chris Kuhn, the single drivers that we have. They're going to go out there, get a feel for it. They probably already have a pit strategy in mind. So they are going to go out and follow that strategy. Obviously, Marshall just trying to gap the field and then take his pit stop like he would normally do. So I don't think it's a disadvantage. But if you want to pick up a teammate along the way, go for it. It's a lot of fun. And PF Racing said he sent it. Awesome. And Rachel Hart says all the battery monitoring is off tonight. For fairness, there's no advantage to a team. That is correct. So as we check up number one, these guys are nose to tail. Thank you, Alex, for catching this for me. I'm still surprised that they haven't really made that many moves on each other. But then again, I think the severity of the race, the hour and 15 minutes these racers are on the track, they're going to work together. If you're obviously faster than the guy, then you're going to get around him, but it uses way too much battery to go neck and neck and keep passing each other, slowing each other down. So they're just cruising. So that's the gap right there. You just saw the battle for third going on here with Nate, Dominic, and Chris. Now the gap to Armand, crossing the picture right now going into turn one, is Dominic. Oh man, that opens the door for Chris. Chris sticks his nose in there. Dominic, oh my goodness. That's what you got to watch. If you're the guy behind the two people in front of you and they start battling just like Chris did, you're waiting for them to make a move on each other and capitalize. What a great move by Chris Kuhn, working his way into the fourth position there. Now he's got to go after Nate Groh. Let's check up on them coming outside here as Dominic looks on the outside, switches the inside. Really good move and gets right around Chris Kuhn. I wish I could move that camera to the right a little bit for you guys, but oh, a little bit of battle going in there. And let's see who comes out with it through the doors. Dominic's got a little bit. Oh, as Chris just gives him a nose, puts him a little bit sideways. Dominic looks back saying, hey, cut that out. As they go into turn one, a little bit of gap. And I don't know if that slide was on purpose just to get him back a little bit. But here we have Marshall Miller already catching Corey Salerno. And Corey's obviously probably just going to let him by. Yeah, I would too. So we've got Marshall Miller just cruising, working his way backwards through the field. So now he's going to come up on the fifth position here of Chris Kuhn, who is battling with Dominic D'Angelo. And now you guys see coming through the doors here, we've got Nate Groh and then Dominic and Chris. Dominic and Chris were fighting each other, and look at the gap that's been created between them and Nate. It is significant. So stop battling with each other and drive an endurance race. You know, just like Marshall's out there putting laps down. That's good for him. But Corey let him by. Everyone's letting him by. They're figuring, you know, their time will come. Pit stops take a lot of time. So trust me, the field will be swapped around by the end of the race. I don't know about Marshall. If Marshall gaps the field, then, you know, it's pretty good chance that he's going to be in first place. But we just got to get all the karts through there. Let's see here. Rachel said, okay, wait here. Okay, so Micron 5. Yeah, James, we're going to have a heads-up display in Micron. Yep, that's exactly it. We are working our way towards that. I truly believe that there are all types of really good racing, and you can take two bicycles and create a good race out of it. It's all a matter of the equipment and the race itself. So if the racing is great, the equipment is great, you have something that is just an amazing, amazing race to be a part of. So as we build the technology out in these karts, it only gets better and better and better for the racers themselves. As we got someone on the outdoor camera, this is fantastic because now I can show you guys coming through the door here. We've got Marshall on the back of Chris Kuhn. And Marshall's just going to ease his way through here. Chris might let him by. Yep. So Marshall now working his way backwards has lapped the fifth place person. Next on the list is Dominic D'Angelo. Let's check out here. Here's Dominic coming outside, and the gap to Marshall is closing rapidly. This is where Marshall makes a lot of his time up. If you watch his line through this back and forth, he is extremely fast. As looks like we've got our first pit. Chris Kuhn, I saw him wave his arms as he came inside. So we've got our first pit stop, and I'd love to show you guys how this works. I may not do this all night, but we've happened to have an onboard as well. It might be a good idea to pull that GoPro off and charge it and give it to the next person. That way we just make sure the batteries last all throughout the race and the GoPros get switched to different drivers. So we get right back on with Chris Kuhn, single driver, hops into the next kart, fastens his seatbelt, and exits the pits as soon as he turns his kart on. There we go. And you get automatically reaccelerated at this line right here. And he will safely get back out into the field, and we'll see where he winds up. I think that is Armand ahead of him, and Nate right behind him. So there's Marshall Miller again passing another person. That is Nate Groh, our third place. So Marshall looks like he is going to be lapping the third place person, working on his way to Armand Deligny, entering into the building there now. That is the gap between him and Marshall to lap the field. Really good drive from Marshall Miller. So that is the other thing to consider, though. He has driven that kart significantly hard, and we've given a gap of 25 minutes on either end of a kart exchange. What that means is that, let me double check for you, PF Racing, while I am thinking of it. But what that means is if you swap into a new kart and your kart dies within 25 minutes of being in it, then we will consider that a mechanical and we'll give you a new kart. If it's outside that 25-minute window, then we don't consider that a mechanical. We consider that your failure to do a pit stop, and you will come in. So, like I said, these new batteries are absolutely fantastic. We see Marshall out there just burning laps down, almost 38 flat. The only person close to him is Armand Deligny at a 39.073, so about a second faster. But that is using a lot of energy, so he's got to make sure that he pits by the time he gets to that 25-minute mark, give or take, and then cruise the rest of the race just to make sure he makes it. So let's jump on board here with Dominic D'Angelo right behind Nate Groh. As we catch him coming inside here, we'll see what they've got going together. Looks like Dominic's having some fun racing there. By the way, Preston, I got the pictures here, and I'm working on pulling them up because that is way too cool. I don't play Roblox. I know a bunch of kids love that game, so that's really cool. He's got this whole track layout. It looks just like K1 Speed Canton. I love it. So I just got official word over my headset that Marshall he's only consumed 50% of his battery power so far. He's got 9 minutes to clear that 25-minute window I was talking about where it would be considered a mechanical. So as you can see, we have 49 minutes left now of the race with 50% battery consumed. He has turned in 38-second laps. Wow. Good for him. So he is absolutely cruising. That is fantastic. All right, outdoors, we got Chris Kuhn, followed by Nate Groh and Dominic D'Angelo. I have a feeling these three guys, now consider Chris Kuhn has already pitted, and Nate's already back on him, and these guys have been known to shuffle it around a little bit, so probably a pack worth watching. But as we watch this, let me run down the board for you real quick. We got Marshall Miller in first place with a 38-second lap. That's crazy. Armand Deligny, second place with a 39-second lap. Nate Groh, 38.9. Dominic, 38.9. Corey, 38.9. Giovanni, 38.9. PJ, 39.3. Trent, 39.5. Kyle, 39.6. And Chris Kuhn, 39.1. So all these guys running really good lap times. It looks like, I don't know, someone, Marshall just parked it on start-finish line for whatever reason. Yes, there is no timed pit stop. So Marshall has got a gap on the field, stop to ask the track worker a question. So if that is not a true flex of what a pro driver looks like on track, I don't know what is. But Marshall's one of those kids that you can literally go through the entire driver's meeting, describe everything for him. He'll walk out and, catch butterflies or check his phone, and then he asks a question like that right in the middle of the race. So good for him. As we see Marshall Miller pulling in, figuring right on that window, the boy knows his racing. Yeah. Yeah, so Marshall jumping into his next kart here. Oh, there's no battery pack on that GoPro anymore. Bummer, that one probably will cook it. But we'll see how many more onboards we can get as we look on board with Marshall Miller. James Burley there making sure he's buckled up safely and back out onto track. Now let's see here where he comes out. Comes out with Kyle Scheckler and Armand Deligny right behind Kyle Scheckler. So Armand he is working his way through the back markers, but a commanding lead once the timing updates here. There he goes, flying through the carousel. Armand right on his tail, so that's really good. Looks like Armand stuck his hand out, so he faked me out. I thought he was pitting. I think everybody saw that. Good. Glad I'm not the only one. He was celebrating. Yeah, he was. Yeah, no, it's really, really good to see Marshall Miller out there with Armand Deligny running many laps. It is great to see what Marshall has done with his racing over the time that he has been here at K1 Speed Canton. I would like to say that I think we developed some of the best drivers. Speaking of some of the best drivers, let's hop on board with Giovanni Blackerberry, who is the junior world champion in kart 36 right now. He is sitting in fourth place currently, and that is just awesome. I love to see young kids like Giovanni getting involved in racing. Great family. They ran the 12 hours, had a lot of fun doing it, and he has just turned into a great racer. I cannot wait to see what he does with his racing career. But just like Marshall Miller, Giovanni, all these guys and girls are really fast, which puts them into the Pro Endurance League. I would love to see them create a team together. That would be a lot of fun. And we got PJ Mannypenny coming across the line here, followed by Trent. And we've got Marshall Miller again in the picture. It seems like every time I swap camera views, I've got Marshall going somewhere. So that's all right. That is what we like to see. We've got race control giving me all kinds of inside information here because it's just awesome. Marshall did pit in his window, so wow. 35% remaining in Marshall's kart when he pitted, so he could have driven that a lot more. So if that gives you an idea of really how good these batteries are, that is fantastic. I love it. I love... we talked about the different pit strategies we might run for this race as Marshall Miller is right up on Armand Deligny here. He's got to get by him for that position, but we talked about different pit strategies we might use coming into this series of 3 pit stops, 2 pit stops, and then James Burley himself says, how about 1 pit stop? And we stopped, we thought about it, and said, you think the batteries are good? And he says, I think the batteries are great. So that's what we did. 1 pit stop, and I think it is proof that they will go the distance. As we catch Corey Salerno in the pits here, another one of our single drivers. And yeah, Armand's going to point him by. No big deal. Corey Salerno in the pits, another one of our single drivers. Good to see him back, taking the time. Like I said, just had baby number 5. I know Sharon Salerno's on the fence over there somewhere. I think she was, or maybe she's out in the pits, but saw her, congratulated them. It's great to see. He's got a couple young racers working their way up to the height requirement required to start driving the junior karts. And I know, if I know anything about Corey, is that he is raising his kids one heck of a way, and they are going to be great racers. He's already got a couple of kids on STACYC, so that'll be cool. Let's catch back up with Chris Kuhn in the battle, coming back in the doors here. Let's see. Yeah, Chris is all over Nate again. Seems like Chris, Nate, and Dominic were going at it for a while. Dominic's got a little bit of a lead on him now. Chris just right in the bumper of Nate, giving him the business. So I just heard that, let's see if they're coming in. Yep. There they are in the doors. All right, let's pay attention to these two, just because I heard something interesting. So, as Marshall is banging on his cart to go faster, but I think he'll be all right. So he's led Armand by a couple of times and just showed him his line, because I think Armand's just curious how he's going that fast. So Armand is tailing Marshall right now, just learning the line. Now, I know all of us love racing here at K1 Speed Canton. It is the best place to drive indoor electric go-karts, indoor, outdoor electric go-karts. The karts are all very similar, so if there is a trick out there that there is to learn, Armand is the guy that will learn it and repeat it. And we're all kind of baffled of how Marshall keeps going faster and faster and faster, so it's good to see him out there helping his fellow racer who helping them get faster, because there was a point in time when Armand was the guy to beat. So it also rotates around. I love seeing new people come up and figure out how to drive these karts better and better and better, and they get faster. And then we're all a big community here. Like I said, come check out the regular endurance race that we run here at K1 Speed Canton, the Endurance Championship. Interesting. But yeah, come try out the Endurance Championship here at K1 Speed Canton, and all of these guys and girls will help you drive faster. We want faster people in the karts. As we see another couple of people pitting. I saw an arm go up, and we've got 2 in the pits currently. I also caught wind that after Corey's pit stop, he's at 30%. So that'll be a kart to watch. As we've got Nate Groh swapping, single driver. And then we've got the 18 of Trent Titoff right ahead of him. As we jump on board here, I saw an arm go up. Dominic D'Angelo diving in the pits as well. So we've got a lot of pits going on. Looks like a little problem there for Nate. Didn't turn the kart on fast enough and hit the pedals. That is definitely something we tell every driver. Take your feet off the pedals, turn the kart on, and then go. We'll sit on board here as we see his teammate jumping into the kart here, kart 24. Getting buckled up and ready to go. Let's check on everybody's race here. Exits back into traffic. Looks like Rachel's getting herself ready to go. Gaps have tightened up after the pit stops. But still, Armand Deligny in first, Giovanni Blackberry in second. Giovanni has not taken his pit stop yet. PJ, same with him, has not taken his pit stop. So top 3 have not pitted yet. And then Marshall Miller in fourth, which will shuffle the deck right back up to what you're looking at, 4th down. unless these guys have made some gaps as I talk about it. Who do we have coming in other than Armand Deligny taking his pit stop? And I think Armand is running with Rachel Hart, so that's why we saw her jumping up and down, getting ready to get in the cart. Tag your it into the cart, turns on the cart, safely buckles your seatbelt. It's rolling. There we go, tighten up, ready to rock. Where's she come out in the field here? And wide open track looks like. Nope, Corey Salerno right behind her. And PJ Mannypenny. So, there's Giovanni, took his pit. Zach Harmon in the cart, 29. Zach Harmon, a K1 employee here. That is right. The Pro League is open to anyone with pro status. Zach did run a 12 hours. A couple of times. I think he ran twice, actually. Yep, anyone pro status. That means time-based, or you've run our endurance series, or the 12 hours. Yeah, what we consider a pro time here, just for reference, is under a 40-second lap time outdoor and a 8-second indoor? I might be wrong. 27-second indoor, thank you. Yeah, 27-second indoor. So pretty fast, but like I said, come check out the leagues. The leagues are where everybody learns to drive this fast. All of these drivers have driven and are driving in the endurance series. Oops, looks like a little card issue there. There we go, get rolling. Everybody comes to learn their skills at the leagues, and we are well versed here in teaching drivers how to get the best out of these electric carts. And these guys and girls are certainly doing that tonight. If you're at another K1 facility, definitely give us a shout out. And other karting facilities. I actually just met with a local karting place around us here. We came up with a couple of really cool ideas, but we're all in this together. We might have like little inside battles back and forth about who's faster, who's better, whatever, but we're all in this to see the sport of electric karting grow. There is none other than the bull herself, Katie. Now, Katie is running with her dad, PJ. I love the sticker on the back of her helmet. She is raring and ready to go. PJ entering the pits here, as this will complete our last pit stop, and we are a little better than halfway done. Gets the high five, hops in the cart. Marshall crossed the timing line. We can see him jump back up. We'll see the whole field shuffle right back down to where it should be. We'll be off and running. What's the gap between first and second? We'll catch that as soon as we get Katie back out on track here. So there is second place right ahead of Katie Wise. That is Rachel Hart. Comes up as Armand Deligny because they are running as a team. And Marshall Miller entering the start-finish line right now. So that is the gap between first and second. We've got Rachel Hart coming around the back carousel here into the tight chicane. And right back through the doors she will come momentarily. Now, we'll sit on this angle here for a second so you guys get the true gap. So Rachel's coming around the back carousel indoor track here, and we've got Marshall Miller entering the picture sometime right here, coming through the back doors as he enters our carousel in the back of the indoor track. Foot on the pedal because he likes to stretch his leg out, he said. He doesn't do it to, intimidate or anything like that. He actually said he does it because he just stretches his leg out. He needs a little stretch once in a while. So that is the gap between first and second. And, if I can get that Roblox track up here, I will definitely do that PF Racer because it's pretty cool. Looks like Zach is going after Chris Kuhn. So that is Zach Harmon and Chris Kuhn on track right now. Chris Kuhn driving as a solo and Zach Harmon driving as a team with Giovanni Blackberry. Zach looking, can he make that gap? On the outside of Chris Kuhn. Can he get him with the switchback, though, here? Nope. As we see Bear, the track dog, running in the background. What a great dog. So, on track. looks like everybody's kind of set in their positions. Just that Zach Harmon kind of looking at Chris Kuhn once in a while. Let's catch up and see what we got going on here. We got Katie Wise and Kart 14 here. Kyle Scheckler. So Katie safely made it by there. Katie, not the fastest driver here at K1, but I'll tell you, drivers vote, one of the racers you absolutely bucket list have to race against. She has a very defensive driving style and just has a lot of fun doing this. Her and her dad actually played softball for a long time, and then they decided that they came and raced go-karts, and that's what they wanted to do, and they are phenomenal at it. They just have a good time. There's so many races back and forth. If you guys go digging deep in the history of competition karting and the 12 Hours of Canton YouTube, you'll see lots of races between me and Katie, just having way too much fun. As everybody rounds indoors to come back inside, we've still got this little trio here. Zach Harmon getting right up on the bumper of Chris Kuhn. Little bump across the start-finish line. Looks to the outside. Unless he can make that switchback, there's no move there. Doesn't mean he won't try it, but these are seasoned endurance racers. They know, conserve energy. That way they are able to make the karts last as long as the race. Great camera work out back. There is no move to be made. That is a great place to make a pass, though, if you can get on the inside of them. Ooh, okay, so that was Kyle Scheckler jumping out of the way. And Zach Harmon looking on the outside of Chris Kuhn. Can he make that switchback? Let's see. No, he cannot. All right, we're going to follow this group for a little bit because Chris Kuhn pitted outside the window of what we guarantee for the karts here. So outside that 25-minute window I was talking about. So if his kart happens to die on track during this great battle we've got going on between him and Zach Harmon, I would say that we throw a yellow flag because there's a slow kart on track, but the rest of the track is going to continue. So you really gotta pace yourself. As the more he gets into it with Zach Harmon here, who's trying to make the pass on him, the more battery he is going to be using. And we've seen already from Marshall Miller, these batteries will go for a long time, but you've got to conserve them as much as you possibly can. Looks like Zach Harmon just backed off a little bit. I saw him throw his arms in the air, like maybe he's just getting the idea of, I just don't want to fight it. Does not mean that if Chris leaves a gap open for him, he's not going to take it, but I agree. I would just cruise right now. As we get a good look here from Kyle to Zach and Chris Kuhn. About to come through the door here. Going into the back carousel. Armand Deligny going purple. That is Rachel Hart in the cart right now. 38.070. That is the fastest lap of the race so far. As we come back inside, nothing much going on. There's not too many moves to be made out here. Let's jump back on and see what Katie's got going on outside. She's got Corey Salerno right behind her. And that could turn into something interesting. Marshall Miller also in the background of that shot coming into the back carousel. Corey Salerno right on the tail of Katie Wise, the bull. Both of them out there just cruising, having fun. So our top three have not changed in a while. We got Marshall Miller in first, Armand Deligny in second, Dominic D'Angelo in third. And there's a couple different battles going on here on track. Oh, that was, and he didn't even push him. He just ran wide, so that's okay. That's all right, Kyle. Gather yourself, get back in it, buddy. You'll be all right. Just ran a little bit wide there. Let's see. All right, let's jump back to Katie here. Looks like Corey did make his way around Katie. I don't know if that was a point buy or not, but now we've got Kyle Scheckler right behind Katie. Marshall Miller coming into frame as well. And there are no blue flags in this race. As a professional racer, it is upon your courtesy to let the person behind you by if you are not faster, and work your way through the traffic if you are the faster driver. As we see them entering in the back carousel here. Marshall taking that really tight line, gives Kyle a little bump, say, hey, I'm here. Says, I'm sorry for the little bump, and makes his way safely by. Now Marshall's got Katie Wise on his hands, and let's see if Katie plays nice. Sometimes it's just fun to pick a fight with her on track because she's a really good defensive driver, and it's just fun to race with someone like that. Get a little bit physical, have some fun. As they come into turn 4 here, what is the indoor turn 5? Out the doors into the outside section of the track. Marshall with a lot of speed coming into this turn. Katie with a nice tight defensive line, but Marshall's going to squeeze his way through. Katie's going to let it fly, and that is another position gained by Marshall Miller. Foot up cruising. Love it. So now Marshall's next target is Corey Salerno. Just in front of him. Good to see Corey out here. Corey is a fantastic racer. All kinds of different racing disciplines. He was actually at the World Championship last year as well. Let's see what happens here. Let's check back in. We've got Nate Groh right behind Zach Harmon. And there's a little cluster of them. I don't think this is for position as they come out the doors here. Jared Miller, yeah, you're right. Nate Groh right on the back of Zach Harmon. Let's see if these two are going to have a little bit of fun. With 26 minutes and 39 seconds remaining in this first Competition Karting Pro Endurance Series race. This is the first of the season and the first that I know of. We like doing all the new stuff here at K1 Speed Canton. Competition Karting is the driving force behind it. 12 Hours of Canton is our big event. And this is what we love to do, create races for truly race people. If you want to come out and try it, please be sure to try our series that run. We got lots of different series that we run here. From endurance series, you can jump in as a rookie amateur, have a ton of fun. A lot of these same drivers are in the single driver endurance championship as well. That is the K1 Speed Endurance Championship. And they have gotten promoted to pro status. But come in, try it. This is where a lot of these kids have started. They start out running our series, GP, Endurance, Boost League, and work their way up to this level, and they have multi-disciplines of racing between all of these drivers. A lot of this driving, as you hear me interview different drivers throughout the time, they all say the same thing, that this helps their racing. From true race car drivers, Will Nonamaker is one of them. They love doing it in the off-season because it keeps their skills really sharp. And Marshall Miller has made his way around Corey Salerno, just as everybody in the chat predicted. All right, how many more cars is Marshall going to pass? Let's get in the chat. And Zach Harmon, Nate Groh coming in the backdoor section here. No moves to be made. Nate right up on the bumper of Zach. He has a different line coming through that carousel. And it is quick. I know Nate was telling me that he went out with Rachel Hart over the weekend. As Zach Harmon shaking his hands there. You can tell, if you haven't driven these karts in an endurance race, just try it once. Please try it once just to shut me up, because it is so much fun. But you look at it and you're like, how hard can it really be? These guys are just cruising. They're putting down 38-second laps. It's really difficult. We also have something called the 50 race challenge here at K1 Speed Canton. You race all 50 races, buy an entire 50 race package, and run it in one day. As Nate Groh just kind of pushes them through the corner. That's all right. That's a fair move as all three of them come inside. We got Nate Groh, Zach Harmon, Rachel Hart all lined up. Rachel was able to close that gap up really fast when Nate was getting by Zach. Rachel on the bumper of Zach. Looking for a way through here on the outside. She might get him on the switchback here in turn 2. Nope, not enough momentum. Let's see if she's got anything for him in the outdoor carousel. As they come flying through the door here. Gives him a little bump, lets him know she's there. Looks on the inside. Zach's not even going to fight this one. Nope. Nope, little bit of fight. Just missed the brake pedal by a little bit. That's what we call the friendly boost button there. PF Racing says 15 more cars. Yeah, I don't know about that. Maybe 2. As Rachel safely makes it by Zach Harmon. No position change. They are still running Armand Deligny, Rachel Hart in second place, Marshall Miller in first place, Dominic D'Angelo in third place, Chris Kuhn in fourth place, and that is our top 4. As we get a nice overhead shot of Rachel coming flying through in the outdoor carousel, looking at Nate Groh ahead of her. Now keep in mind, this is lap traffic, so Rachel is coming up to Nate Groh from behind. So this will be an additional lap that they are able to put on Nate as a single driver. I know Nate was hurt, and I was saying that him and Rachel Hart went out over the weekend. They were driving gas carts, and he said he was in the grass so much because the track was really cold, really wet first thing in the morning, so he was pulling his cart out, gas karting, and they're not that light. So he's a little bit sore, but they continue to do this racing because it is so much fun, and it is conditioning for all the other racing that they like to do. Everything from sim racing to motorcycle racing to car racing to kart racing. We've got a little bit of all the disciplines here. So, besides Rachel and Armand catching up to Nate Groh in 5th place here, jump back outside, see what we got. We got Corey Salerno coming flying into the outside carousel. Marshall Miller just in front of him. And then we've got Katie Wise and Kyle Scheckler right behind her, followed by 24. Oh, that's a Haymaker. Everybody having a great time. Just about 21 minutes left to go. Everybody has completed their pit stop, so as we see the running order for what it is, that is how we're going to wind up. Now, the only people we're really watching outside that pit window is Chris Kuhn. So if his cart dies on track, he's going to have to make an additional pit. But everybody else is pretty safe as far as their pit stops go. Just watching for any position changes here. Let's jump on board here. Sorry about that. This is on board. Everybody having so much fun. Chris Kuhn right on the tail of Katie. Chris a little bit faster through that area here. Let's see what they look like coming in. So this is where it starts getting fun in the endurance races. Like I said, the middle part of this, usually everybody's got a pretty good gap. And we'll be able to zoom right in on all this action here coming in through this door because we've got Chris Kuhn, Katie Wise, Trent, I believe, right behind her, and then Rachel Hart trying to make up some of these positions here as she works her way through lap traffic. Everybody letting her by. Wow, that was hey, listen, I don't know why I'm surprised. This is a pro endurance race. These drivers are fantastic. Just letting the faster driver through, making their laps, fighting their own battles. This is great racing here. And I know Nate Groh there also working his way through lap traffic as well. It's Kyle Scheckler and then PJ Mannypenny, a.k.a. Katie Wise, as they bump out of the way for Nate coming across that start-finish line. That was really good racing. Let's see who's coming out of the back door here in the outdoor section of the track. Having fun. I don't know if that's more aerodynamic or if he's just sweating his armpits out or something, but looks like he's having a ton of fun out there. That's Giovanni's family out there on the light pole. Or I'm sorry, there's Giovanni himself out on the light pole. watching his teammate. Here's Marshall Miller. Of course, we have a shot with Marshall Miller in it. Why wouldn't we? Corey Salerno. And Giovanni Blackberry is actually running with Zach Harmon, who is, let's see, Zach's got a one-of-a-kind helmet. There's Rachel, there's Chris, there's Zach Harmon in kart 29. Working his way up that field. Right now in 8th place, waving his arms in the air for whatever reason. I don't know why he was doing that. Oh, I think his kart's got, wait. All right, we'll have to check on board with that. Zach Harmon's kart has died, so I don't know, are we going to stop the field here because that's a mechanical? Or if he's outside that pit window, I think we have to stop the field as it sits and address the situation here. So let's see what's going on. I don't know if we can listen into... Alrighty, so it has been identified as a mechanical failure because he pitted within inside that allotted window that we gave the guarantee on the batteries for. We are pushing everything to the limits here at K1 Speed Canton. This is competition karting. As we do a kart swap, we'll be right back with you guys.
Feet off the pedal! Ready?
All right, so I found out as we get rolling here, we had a true mechanical. So one of the karts had overheated or something to be identified later in the shop, but Zach Harmon causing the stop on field that we all just saw. And now we're back at it. Looks like everybody's kart's running good. Katie getting shoved a little bit there into turn 1. She is going to give that right back, though, I believe. If she can catch him. Oh, he's pointing her by. That's a good idea. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what that was. But, so mechanical failure, yes, catching up on PF Racing. Yeah, red flag. His kart did die. It was something mechanical, so we'll figure that out. And we stop the field. Everybody stops and then goes back on green. And Lisa Miller, is there any way of tracking who has used all of their boost? No, not at this moment. We are working on technology that will help us do that in the future, but as of right now, we do not have that telemetry. It'll be really fun, awesome when we do, but we're always trying to build these things a little bit better just so we can give the racers and you as viewers, fans, the most information on how the drivers and the karts are doing. So in real time, we cannot do that yet. We can do it post and pre-race, but soon, hopefully. As we see Chris Kuhn on the back of Rachel Hart here coming into turn 2. They are going back. They're going back and forth, and you know something odd though. Rachel did make it by Chris Kuhn pretty quickly, and Chris is right on the bumper of Rachel. So if I was to place a bet, if I'm a betting person, I would say there is an opportunity for some people to reset their carts in a situation like that. Not recommended, but I've seen people do it. So I wonder if I get a hold of the track and see what's going on. See, that's where Lisa Miller, you're right. That would be a great situation to see how many boosts we have left and stuff. We want to do it so we could give you, the audience, the ability to possibly donate and give people boosts. So in a situation like this where Marshall's running away with it, we could donate, I don't know, $100 and turn him on speed 2 for an hour, see if he still wins. You know, something like that. I'm just kidding. We wouldn't do that to Marshall, but fun stuff like that is what we really ultimately want to do with competition karting. So I am so glad you guys are along for the ride with us as we come up on 15 minutes to go in the race. If you have not already, and you've already dropped a comment in our stream, that means you like us enough to watch. Please like and subscribe our channel. It really does help, and it gives us a little bit more ability to do the fun things I am talking about as we grow the channel. We want to grow with the racing. As we see the battle of Chris Kuhn, Rachel Hart going on, coming into the inside. Rachel's got her arm in the air, and I don't really know why. I don't know if she was letting Chris Kuhn by. That's I have to say that's crazy. So, as we check up on everybody, Marshall Miller coming up on another lap traffic there. I have not kept track of how many more people he has passed. I apologize for that. I know you guys want to see that. But I killed the stream deck by accident. James luckily gave us the scoreboard that we see now, and that is all we're going to have for tonight as Rachel's sticking her arms and legs in the air. Not quite sure. Hard to communicate what that is. If she has a Cardo, though, and she's communicating to her off-track people, maybe they could let us know. Lisa Miller, that'd be awesome. I make a better online viewer than in person. Nah, you're always welcome here at K1 Speed Canton. Doors are open anytime. You're the only like. Come on, guys. I know PF Racing. Put the chat on blast. Tell them to get out there. Like and subscribe, please. I hate asking for it, but really in the algorithm of YouTube, it really, really does help us do the cool things I am talking about. As we jump on the chat favorite here, Marshall Miller coming back from the outside to the inside. Into the back carousel he goes. As we catch up on what's going on here. Marshall pitting again. Marshall, so deciding that he does want to take an additional pit. And jumping into cart number 13 is Marshall Miller. Don't think the boy would use it, but I donate to something else. Well, you're more than welcome to donate to the channel because part of the proceeds go to Competition Karting's budget, which does give prize money to drivers and does increase technology for you, the viewers, and the drivers on track. As we see pack of 3 coming out the doors, as we got a pack of 3 coming in the doors. That's Marshall Miller there, who just took a pit. Let's see, he came right out with Armand Deligny, a.k.a. Rachel Hart, so now he's going to have a battle on his hands here, except Rachel's still got her hands in the air, like, not quite sure what she's trying to communicate, but, huh. Alrighty. Yeah, as we look at the times right now. Armand Deligny, Rachel Hart running a 42-second lap time on that last lap. Dominic D'Angelo, 39.5. Chris Kuhn, 39.3. Marshall Miller with a 102-second lap time. Oh, my goodness. That's his pit stop. Don't worry about it. So we're running through a couple of things here, as always, on the back end. Tabitha, welcome to the chat. Go Jacob. Absolutely, go Jacob. Out on track right now. I believe we have an onboard. There we go. Coming across the start-finish line. Into turn 1. So, coming up on 11 minutes to go in the race. Not much has changed as far as standings right now. We've still got Armand, Dominic, Chris, Marshall, Nate, and Corey as your top 6. Giovanni in 7th, PJ Manny-Penny in 8th, Trent 9th, Kyle 10th. Everybody running good lap times. Armand Deligny, Rachel Hart piloting that team kart right now, running a 39.68. And they currently have the best lap of the race of a 38.070. Marshall Miller scored down in 4th place currently, so I believe he's going to... Oh, we have a dead kart on track that looks like Chris Kuhn. Chris Kuhn has died in turn 4 as Marshall goes right by him. The track will go flashing yellow-blue to alert that there is a dead kart on track, but everybody else will continue on around him because he is the one that we talked about that was pitting outside that guaranteed kart window. The dead kart lights flash right now, blue, yellow, to alert the drivers that there is a slow kart on track they need to be aware of. That is Chris Kuhn giving a thumbs up to the camera in the back there, trying to stay off the racing line so he doesn't get pummeled coming in. That is the fastest part of the track that we have. As he works his way around here, staying offline. And that's going to significantly change his position. He was running solid 4th place there for a minute. That's all right as he enters the pits. All righty, he's cleared out of the way. Let's go back racing. Who do we got here? Let's see. We got a Rachel Hart and Zach Harmon going back in through the doors. And Rachel's just getting swallowed alive here, it looks like. We could... As we check outside here, what do we got? Everybody coming in. That's Rachel Hart coming in through the doors now. Running a little off pace, but, you know, sometimes it's just not your day as a driver, and that's okay. Zach Harmon made his way around. She's just got to be concerned about letting Dominic D'Angelo by. That is the person in 2nd place right now. Marshall Miller in 3rd, who is just doing laps at this point. So Marshall Miller's got to catch up to Dominic and then be able to pass Rachel Hart, Armand Deligny in 1st place. That is the team. And Squiggly, you're late. Yeah. And congratulations on the baseball game, buddy. 28-12. That's a good baseball game. All right. And he says, "Let's go, Marshall." And Lisa Miller, you'd specifically pick a racer. That is exactly what I think it'd be so much fun for. Tell me it wouldn't be a blast to be able to say, Dominic D'Angelo, I'm going to donate, $1 and he gets a boost or something. I don't know. It'd be a great time. It'd be stream-controlled racing. Within reason. I mean, you could slow the whole field down, but that'd be a heck of a donation. But, do it for like a good cause, good charity or something. That'd be a lot of fun. And yes, Quigley, couple new names. It is great to see. Yeah, these are pro-level drivers, so they have all driven either in the Endurance Pro Series of K1 Speed Canton, which we run and stream every 3rd Sunday of the month. Be sure to check Competition Karting. And like I said, if you like what you see, you're going to want to see it every time we run it. turn that little bell on. Get your notifications on so you know when we're going live, because we have a good habit of doing random races live. Well, we plan most of the races, but sometimes we pop a race on like this. Today we decided at 3 o'clock p.m. we're going to stream our brand new race series, which you are watching right now, the Pro Endurance Series from Competition Karting and 12 Hours of Canton. Do a 1 hours where chat controls it, PF Racing. That is a fantastic idea. I love that. I would love to do it and put it for a donation, work with a local charity, do a race like that. That'd be a lot of fun. So yes, like and subscribe, and maybe we can make that happen for you guys. So let's catch up here. We got Katie Wise coming down the start-finish straight. She's struggling. Looks like she's a little bit tired there. I bet you if we zoomed in quite a bit, she would be a little lax on the steering wheel. She's got Corey Salerno behind her, is the next closest, but this is a very, very long race. As we can see, it is already nighttime out there on the track. Coming into the carousel here. Looking like a lot of fun. I just noticed we had LEDs on in the track out back. That looks cool. As we catch everybody coming in the carousel here. Let's see. And I've got a surprise visitor. So we are going to get Mr. Armand Deligny here fired up on the headset. So you don't have to worry about looking pretty tonight because I screwed up the stream deck, so we don't have the upstairs camera. But welcome to the stream, Armand.
Oh, thanks, Jason. Happy to be here.
Yeah. So 40-second lap times. You guys cruising in first place, though. We're just worried about Dominic D'Angelo and Marshall Miller catching up to her.
We're not really cruising, actually. Rachel's got a problem.
She has a problem.
Yep. So
what's the problem? Are you on comms with her?
I was on comms.
Okay.
I kind of let her go here.
Yeah.
So it seems that she's stuck in some kind of speed. At first it felt like speed 3, but she's able to counter it a little with boost.
Okay.
So we'll see how it goes. But she's losing about 1 to 2 seconds a lap.
Wow.
She got about a 17-second lap with 17-second lead with 4 minutes to go.
4 minutes to go. Think you're going to be able to do it?
It's gonna be close. It's gonna be close.
Because we got where. So here's the gap. So let's check this out while we're inside. Rachel catching up to Chris Kuhn here. And she's got a back marker behind her. But what's the gap to Dominic D'Angelo? Let's see where they're at.
I think they're coming in the carousel right now.
Yeah, so they're coming into the back carousel. There's
so
Katie.
Rachel's going outside,
There's
and
Corey.
Dom is actually Jacob.
Jacob. Okay, so into
turn
one.
Turn 1 right
Okay,
now.
so there's Marshall Miller. Let's go back to turn 3 because that's probably where he's going to be. There's Katie. And there's Dominic's team right there. So Dominic is Jacob Haymaker right now.
Yes.
Okay, got it. So that is the gap that we have that you guys need to maintain for the next 3 minutes and 47 seconds here.
Oh, someone might be dead. Corey.
Oh, Corey Salerno.
Dead.
Corey's dead, so we need to red flag the field.
How about he's in the pits? Might as well just go in the pits at this point.
Yeah. Well, it's mechanical though if he's inside his window, so we need to red flag the field. We need to stop everybody. We need to stop the whole field.
Stop on the thing.
Are they?
Yeah.
Go in the pits.
We'll see.
Yeah, he's pitting. Oh,
all
there
right,
you go.
so he's in the pits.
Everyone's crawling.
I wonder though if he was outside his window.
No, everyone was in the window except for Chris Kuhn. That's why they stayed under yellow for Chris.
Gotcha. So the red flag will be out. Field will stop. They'll get a fresh cart for Corey Salerno, and he'll be back out on track here.
Man, were you? I was listening to your stream while I was racing.
Really?
It was kind of cool listening to everything.
Yeah.
What was up with Marshall's cart? My goodness, that thing was a rocket ship.
Oh my goodness! And then we saw, was he giving you lessons? James got on the radio and said it looks like Marshall let you by a couple of times and just was giving you pointers.
We were kind of jostling, but I mean, you could tell like that second cart, we were pretty much even when he got into that second cart. So I don't know what was up with the first cart. I know
Looks like Rachel's talking to us. If she could do sign language right now, James would zoom in on her. We would be able to know what's going on.
But Rachel definitely has a problem, but she's managing really well.
Yeah,
and with the timer running down right now, I think that's playing in our favor.
It'll reset, but yeah.
It'll reset.
And then, so Marshall being in third place, not too far behind at this point, but she's managing with the cart she has.
Yeah, she's managing, which is very impressive because I can tell and in the straights, people were walking by her, and she with a full boost lap, she was running high 39s.
Right
Okay.
You should be running low 38, so it's about a 2-second difference.
Wow.
We're losing about 2 seconds a lap.
Yeah. Well, and then Marshall surprisingly took that last pit stop. And
Yeah, that was surprising.
What's that?
Definitely, I don't know why, because that's going to cost him.
Yeah, it might cost him the race at this point.
Behind you?
Let's
I
see
can't
here.
see.
Okay, we've got.
Just yell it. I can hear you. 14? Okay.
I wish she had a GoPro that I could jump onto so we could hear what she's saying, but she
Yeah,
does
it's not
not.
14. It must be you, Rachel.
Can you read the lips?
I can't.
I'm talking to Rachel.
Been racing with Rachel a while, but
Yeah, she's saying
probably
that
something
power
about the kart's wrong. Something.
Her cart is beat
Something
because
about speed.
it's, below 25% level.
But yeah, that was a great race.
Are you guys?
Um,
Are you guys?
but yeah, I mean, Marshall got to the point where he almost lapped me in 20 minutes.
Really?
He was on my bumper until he stopped and talked to Andy on the start-finish line.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, he was. I was checking my times and his times. He was consistently in the 38 flats.
Wow.
I think you gave him like 300 boosts for that race.
No, they're all the same. I went through them twice just to make sure I did them right.
You're gonna have to double check kart 11 there. I think that one's got a rocket ship attached.
But
that shit.
So your opinion about the boost? So me and James were talking about it. The last time we had boost in the karts on the outdoor track, we were at like 7.5 seconds, I
I
think.
think we should go ahead and swap 20.
For
And
the
then-
duration of the boost.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and then so he drove it around a couple laps, and I was standing there, and I'm like, that thing looks undrivable because you don't just hit the boost on the straight. You hit the boost sometimes coming inside and that. So we dropped down the duration of the boost to 5.5 seconds, I think. 5.5 or 6 seconds anyway. So drop a second or two off, and it seemed to actually change the characteristic of the kart of not pulling you so hard through the turns and that. Do you think it's better? Do you like the handling of it this way, or what is your opinion on how to drive boost for someone that's never driven boost?
I think Rachel's getting a new kart here.
She is. Look at you guys. All right, so there's the kart swap.
We'll take it.
So it looks like there was something mechanical with Rachel's kart as she tries to explain it to Jacob, the track worker. Thank you so much to the K1 staff for helping us out with this event. This is the first Pro Endurance Series race at K1 Speed Canton. This is competition karting. I've got Armand Deligny up here. That is your teammate down there in kart 3 now.
Kart 3 that looks like a 9.
9, is it?
I can't tell from here.
I don't know.
We'll find out in a minute. But no, back to your question about boost. So,
Yes.
So here, especially in a format like this where we only have 20 boosts per kart essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So on a 30-minute stint, 35-minute stint, you have to be really strategic because you can essentially use a boost every other lap.
Yeah.
So here, my strategy at least was boost out of turn 4, which is straight into the outside, and just let that carry you the entire speed for the outside.
Okay.
Normally, on shorter races, you're really boosting out of all the tight hairpins just to get you that little extra acceleration.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a different format really. So here it's all about saving your boost or using them at the right time, using the past lap traffic. Or the person you're battling with the position. So yeah, I mean, it's really not that crazy. You can definitely feel the extra jolt of power, of acceleration, but it's not uncontrollable.
And we're off. Green flag. As we've got about 3 minutes. 3 minutes, 15 seconds left in the race. We are pushing all of the karts to their limits right now. This is a long race. To those in the chat that have stuck with us this long, thank you very much. Going green, yes we are. And Marshall is a damn good racer, yes he is. But he is in 3rd place behind Dominic D'Angelo's team and Armand Deligny, who is sitting next to me, not on track. On track is Rachel Hart, his teammate, rounding the back carousel here. She's got a fresh kart because I heard from track control that she had a really bad bearing in that kart. That would explain the time as she turns a 39.5. Is that a little bit more palatable?
That's a little bit more reasonable for Rachel, yeah, because 40s is definitely not Rachel like.
Yeah, I've raced with her a lot, and that would be odd. There's Katie getting into it with Jacob. That is Dominic D'Angelo's team there. Just trying to make it past Katie to try to catch up to Rachel there. And Marshall Miller entering the
third.
frame now.
He's only a couple. He's about 5 seconds behind Jacob there for second.
Yeah.
A minute and a half. It's gonna be tough.
It's gonna be tough. The first kart he had, I swear, was light speed.
I want a full analysis of that kart.
Yeah, and then so it's going to be close. I don't think he'll be able to close that gap up to first. Rachel's got a pretty good lead now. Him taking that last pit stop, interesting strategy. I don't know if he was just trying to mess around a little bit, see if he could gap it. But
might be, but the problem with the pit stop here is that you not only spend the time to swap a kart, but you also lose an entire lap because you do not cross the start-finish line on a pit stop.
That's true. You got an extended out lap.
So it essentially cost you 2 laps to pit.
Wow.
Which I don't know if you factor that in, but it's Marshall. He's out there to have fun. He knows he's fast.
Yeah,
we all know he's fast.
Yep. The chat knows he's fast.
We're all chasing Marshall. But it was nice seeing that after he did a kart swap, I was able to compete with him head to head. So
it's fun racing him, isn't it?
It is fun racing him. He's got a nice line. He's definitely improved a ton since he first started coming here.
Yeah. As he looks his way on the inside of Corey Salerno in the back of.
He's closing the gap. He's got 40 seconds.
Yeah,
might be 2 laps. He did a 39.1 compared to a 39.4. It's going to be tight.
And Rachel Hart running a 38.8 on that last lap. So she is cruising as we come up to 25 seconds to go in the first Pro Endurance Series race here at K1 Speed Canton, brought to you by Competition Karting in the 12 Hours of Canton.
Marshall stuck behind Katie. Is he going to be able to get? Yeah, he got her here on the side of the carousel.
So we are going to have, when Rachel comes across the start-finish line at 0 seconds is when we throw the white flag here. Then it'll be 1 lap, 1 complete lap to go at that. So he's got
about 2 laps.
Yeah.
He's got about a lap and a half.
Yep. There's Zach Harmon crossing the line. Let's see if we can't catch up to where Rachel Hart is at. There she is crossing the line. There's the white flag flying here.
There's Dom.
There's Dom.
Jacob.
There's Marshall.
Yeah, Marshall.
So let's go back to the back carousel there. Let's see if
we're looking at the start-finish line here. They should be both crossing. There's Dom. There's Marshall.
There's Marshall. Nope, not going to make it. So they're going to have 1 lap to go.
38.9 for Marshall, 39.6 for Dom. So that's 0.7 gain that lap.
Rachel in the back carousel for the last time, entering into the garage doors. This will throw checkers. And congratulations, Armand. Looks like your team is going to take first place, but will Marshall be able to close the gap on Dominic?
Looks like it's going to be a couple laps too short.
Yep, I think a couple more laps he would have had it.
There they come, coming to the carousel.
Here's Dominic coming in.
Jacob on Dominic's team.
Jacob, we've got
both of them did a really nice job this race.
Yeah, and there's Corey and oh man, Katie Wise and Corey getting into it in the last lap. And Corey's going to take that checkered flag as everybody cools down their carts.
Tired. Everyone gets a lot of tired faces out there.
Yeah, we got to wait for everybody across the line, and then we'll be good. I think we got a couple more people out there. A couple people in the carousel working their way through. And then everybody will jump into the pits.
And that's everyone.
That's everyone. So there's Rachel Hart. Podium finish, first place finish for you guys. Congratulations, Armand.
Thank you. Thank you.
So you guys are going to come back and run again?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
We're planning on hopefully winning this year. We'll see how it goes, but
yeah,
off to a good start.
I think Marshall's going to change his strategy after third place in this, the first one.
Definitely possible. I think the two pit stop was not the correct way to go.
Yeah.
But hey, something we play around, see how things work. I think the 1 pit stop was good. I mean, who died? We had Zach Harmon who had a mechanical. It wasn't a battery.
Yep. And then Chris Kuhn pitted outside the window, so he died.
He died, but that's his own fault.
Yep.
Salerno did die, and then Rachel had a mechanical. So
yeah.
We essentially only had 1 kart die.
And all in all, compared to what we were running endurance-wise, these batteries are fantastic.
I mean, just think
on boost.
On boost. If think about the 12 hours, we were running about 25-minute stints.
Yeah.
And here we were pushing 35 to 40-minute stints.
Yeah. So
that's 10 more minutes. So I mean, that's significant.
Way improved. So thank you all so much for coming along with us for this ride. And thank you, Armand, for stopping up and saying hi to us in the chat here.
Absolutely. Always love to.
And there will be more of these races. We are going to do one a month, so check out Competition Karts on Instagram for the schedule. We'll also post it up here on YouTube as we do our edits and everybody gets wrapped up here. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the little bell. That is the notifications. We do random races, like I said, all the time where we will go live and show you guys the brand new stuff that we are doing so you can see it for the first time. You guys can be part of the first. That's right. Tonight you were part of the first Pro Endurance Series here at K1 Speed Canton on this beautiful 75-degree night in Canton, Ohio. I am Jason from Competition Karting, and we'll be taking you through the rest of the races as we get them. I hope everybody has a safe, fun night, and sleep well. We will talk to you guys at the next race. Yeah, Lisa Miller, as we get more and more guys behind the scenes here, we will be doing lots of interviews. So I will try to catch them and put that in post-edit. But that is right, PF Racing, good night, K1. Hey! I made it work at the end of it. Good night, everyone.